Time off the playbook presented by Modelo. We go back to the touchscreen with our very own QB Matt Sims. And Matty, the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech, one of 6 FBS teams to enter this week undefeated. They leave undefeated as well, 8-0 after the beatdown over the Syracuse Orange. Haynes King is the engine that makes this thing go.
It is.
He was on another level today. What do you see on the film?
I mean, we're just going to see a multitude of formations, personnels, and just ways to attack you both through the air and on the ground. And let's start off here. A 4th-and-1 situation. The ball game is tied here early in the second quarter. We're going to see a late motion here right before the snap. And what I love about this play design is just the simplicity of it. We're going to get a must outside release go route by this bottom receiver. We're going to get a shallow cross by the opposite tight end, right? And then we're going to get an in cut by this backside receiver. For Haynes King, after we get this little motion here by the tight end, we're going to pull the guard, right? He's going to be that end man on the line of scrimmage. The tight end is also going to be securing the edge blocking here. The offensive line is going to go down the whole way. We're going to fake a toss here to the halfback. So everyone is thinking it's a run here to the left side of the formation, and then we're going to exploit with them overplaying that way and throw this backside shallow to the tight end. And it works to perfection because it's a critical situation. It's an obvious run set for them, and you got to cover each gap. And you can see right here the commitment by the Syracuse Orange, how close they get to the line of scrimmage, even the safety. And in man coverage, they lose sight of the tight end. And how easy is this for Haynes King? Good rhythm throw right there to that front peck, and Betham able to take it in for that touchdown.
Yeah, he had a pretty good day today, too. We'll get to that in just a second. But, you know, Buster Faulkner is probably one of the more underrated offensive coordinators in the entire coury. He gets this thing going. He's got a great offensive line. But it helps when you have a quarterback that can improvise, but play within that system like Haynes King can do.
Yeah, I think Buster Faulkner is one of the best offensive minds in college football, and I definitely have like a little bit of a man crush on him. When I watch the Georgia Tech offense, I think a lot of what I would like to do as a football team is what they do, right? Because it's very confusing, and at the same time, they add a level of physicality that you have to really appreciate. So we get a similar situation again, right, where it's 1st and 10. We get a motion before the snap, and again, we're going to try to sell, right, a run inside zone here, right, by the halfback and the quarterback. The motion that went into the tight end that went into a motion, Betham, he is going to go outside here and just run a nice simple flat route. The tight end that was on the ball here, he is running that high corner to the back pylon, and then we got a low cross here by the Georgia Tech receiver. So for Haynes King, after that play fake, you're thinking flat to the over, right? We alert sometimes this corner versus certain matchups that we like, but hey, it's a corner on the tight end. We're going to leave that alone. So it's 1-2 to Haynes King doing your thing. And we see just the Syracuse offense losing sight of the man in motion, undisciplined in the back end. Easy pitch and catch for Haynes King and Betham again to hit an easy touchdown play there in the low red zone area.
2 catches for 2 touchdowns for Betham today. He had a pretty good one. But I think the key in this game, and we're going to see it here, was Haynes King's ability to distribute the ball to multiple different receivers. He had 7 different receivers with multiple catches today. Nobody on this Georgia Tech team had more than 67 yards of total reception. So, like, that's pretty impressive in and of itself.
It is. And you've heard me say this before, right? Why do I like the Georgia Tech offense? Is because there's no, like, superstar that they work around. Everybody is a part of the unit. Everybody has a role to play. And here it's Dean Patterson's turn, right? Who's Dean Patterson? Hey, he's one of the guys that really doesn't get the rock that often. This is his only catch of the football day today, and it's going to pay off huge for them. So, hey, what's the theme that we're seeing? Motion before the snap, because we want to make sure the defense is communicating to the last second. We're going to get a motion across. We're going to fake that speed sweep here to the right side of the field. We have 2 tight ends in the game, 2 receivers, and a back. So that's called 12 personnel. And you got to think, if you're Syracuse, hey, look at this communication. They got to make sure that they're all set up here to stop the run on this side of the football. But with this motion, we're going to run a wide receiver screen here to the boundary. He's going to go 3 steps, put his foot back in the ground, and then kind of ride that wave back to the line of scrimmage. The tackle and guard are going to block down and roll out. This tackle is going to block this corner that comes down, right? And then this guard is going to peel back, and he's going to be one that blocks this defensive end that's retracing to get back into the football play. So here we have this motion going to the sideline. You can see that the Syracuse defense is going with that flow naturally. The receiver just got done putting that 3rd step in the ground. We see the tackle already on his way out to cutting off that corner that's retracing for the screen. Haynes King does a great job of gaining depth, finding a lane to throw that screen. And look at this, the bodies right there. Great contact. Good job by the guard, too, not pushing the defender in the back and causing a fumble. block in the back, excuse me, and then Dean Patterson does a great job tight-roping right down the sideline. And just look at this right here. Man, awesome, hat for a hat. Look at the space that Patterson has to work with here.
One-on-one.
And then from there, hey, just outrun the safety and do your thing. And that's exactly how it played out.
So King threw for over 300 yards in this game. But what makes him one of the most special players in the entire country is his ability to do this.
No, absolutely. And now 13 personnel. We got 1, 2, 3 tight ends in the game. The back over here is going to go in motion right before the snap. They're going to respect that motion and think, hey, we got to make sure that we get to the outside and not let them outflank us. But what's beautiful about this play design, Haynes King is going to take a shuffle step to his right, fake that pitch to the running back. The opposite guard is going to pull around and kick out. This tight end that's in the shotgun with him is going to follow through and be that extra blocker through the lane. And you could see that when Syracuse reacts to all, look at all this communication. Look at this. You think they're confident about what's happening before the snap?
No.
Absolutely not. And with that late motion, look at how many bodies are overplaying again with that fake toss to the outside. And that gives fantastic blocking angles for the Georgia Tech offensive line and tight end group to be physical. Look at the push two in the interior, right? There's the line of scrimmage. We're already 2 yards right past that line of scrimmage. Great push. And then Haynes King's just patience at the line of scrimmage and his toughness in between the tackles really is the difference in why he is such a special football player for this team.
So all hail the King. Haynes King was tremendous today. 3 passing touchdowns, 2 rushing touchdowns. First player in program history.
Haynes for Heisman, baby.
Haynes for Heisman.
Let's go.
And by the way, the guy behind him, Aaron Philo, is almost a miniature version of Haynes King, who can do a lot of the same things. So they're going to put the undefeated record back on the line when they go to NC State on the road next week. Thank you, Maddie. That was a playbook presented by Modelo. If you
want this, you got that. No way, watch them walk right past you. Run fast while you